your beverage of choice sitting nearby for breaks in the action. Okay, so like I said, we'll start off in our comfortable seated position this evening. And so that can mean whatever works for you as we get going. So whether it's with the legs crossed, with the legs out long, with the knees bent and feet planted. Maybe if you know that you're going to go into an initial range of motion that's going to be a little bit different, you can make that adjustment there. So if you like to get started with a cat and cow or a child's pose or something like that for that initial range of motion, you can make that transition. And we're going to start with our regular scan of the body. So starting from the top of the head and moving all the way down to the tips of the toes. And as you take that scan, it's always without any judgment, just noticing how you're feeling as we get going this evening. Noticing those points of tension in the body, those spaces that could use a little bit of extra love this evening as we get moving. And those spaces that feel particularly good this evening. And also noticing those and where you can take some poses a little bit deeper or a little bit differently because you're feeling good as we get going. As you take that scan and you notice those initial points of tension or those initial places that just need a little bit of extra care as we get started, I want to invite you to take any initial range of motion that may feel good for you. So if you found tension through the torso, maybe it's a spinal twist or a lateral stretch. If you found it through the lower body, maybe it's a fold forward, maybe even through the lower back, maybe it's a fold forward. If it's through the shoulders, maybe it's a couple shoulder rolls in each direction. And like I said, if you changed positions and you wanted that cat and cow, or maybe a child's pose to Cobra, or just a child's pose to get started, feel free to find that. And we'll take about 4 or 5 more nice deep breaths just in any of those initial ranges of motion. They can be one that I mentioned or one that I didn't mention. Just kind of starting off your practice this evening on foot for you, because everyone's different and everyone most certainly feels different when they get started moving any given day. Taking about 2 more nice deep breaths in any of those initial ranges of motion. And if you did make any adjustments of positioning, when you finish out those 2 deep breaths, go ahead and join me back in that comfortable seated position because we'll just move through our couple of usual initial ranges just to get started. So as you get back to center, finding that comfortable seated position again, and as always, legs can be crossed or out long. And we are just going to start nice and easy with our spinal twists all together. So when you've made it back, if you like to take the arms up overhead as you spinal twist, that first inhale takes the arms up. If not, you can leave them low and just find your nice long spine. Our exhale is going to turn those shoulders in that first direction. If the arms are up, they can come down. Either way, that opposite hand meets that same side knee, that same side hand comes around behind the back. And then I invite you here to just move side to side at a pace that works for you this evening. As always, as you move through center, the arms can stay low or the arms can come high. You like that a little bit better. And then moving it side to side. Like I said, just nice and easy at your own pace. If either direction needs a little bit more of a hold or a little bit deeper of a stretch, feel free to find that for those extra couple of moments. Or if you like to keep it moving a little bit faster, getting your breath going a little bit, feel free to do that as well. And also, if there's something that might feel good to kind of change this up, maybe do a little bit of a reach with that opposite arm today. Maybe if the legs are out long, as you move side to side, you find that crossed over leg. And we'll take about 4 more nice deep breaths. Twice more in each direction. As you finish that last one, just bring it on back to center. Find that comfortable seated once again. We'll go into our lateral stretches up next. So same as before, you can keep the legs out long or have them in. Our inhale takes the arms out and up towards the ceiling. First and foremost, big stretch long away from center, fingertips as high as you can get them. Maybe you lift the chin a little bit. With your next exhale, go ahead and bring that right hand down to the mat, that left arm up over top. Feel free to bring that right elbow down if you want that range of motion in this first stretch today. And then same as our spinal twist, feel free to go ahead and move at the pace that works for you. So pressing off of that hand, coming super long through center and exhaling in that second direction. Same as before, either the palm or the elbow, wherever you need to be here. And then just moving side to side, nice and easy. Same as before, taking this however fast or slow you need, maybe a little hold in either direction. That's fabulous. Keeping that opposite hip in contact with the mat. Let's go ahead and take 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths, finding once more in each direction. As always, feel free to find that third change of direction to even out and hit that second side one final time. When you finish that last one, that second side, your final time, that next inhale brings us nice and long towards center, and then our exhale just sucks the arms down and around. Take your time finishing that out if you have one more direction, but then we're gonna move right into some shoulder circles. So just choosing that first direction, finding those nice big circles, pulling the shoulders up towards the ears and then down and either to the front or to the back. Ooh. Definitely feels good after a long day of sitting at a desk. And then go ahead and find one more circle in that first direction and then change that same thing other way. Fabulous. One more big circle in this direction and then releasing those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Last one, just from our any comfortable seated position, is going to be our roll of the head and the neck. So our next inhale finds our long spine. Our exhale drops the chin to the chest. And then as always, we're just going to roll the head side to side. So right ear comes towards that right shoulder. You can always reach that left arm down towards the mat. Exhale brings the chin back to the chest, down through center. And then left ear towards the left shoulder. You can reach that right arm down towards the mat. Just moving nice and easy, the pace that works for you, side to side. That nice stretch of the neck, of the traps. Once again, something that starts to get tight, especially for me when I sit at a desk all day, when I start to get stressed and my shoulders start to hunch up towards my ears. It's kind of a good reminder to relax them nice and low. Next time you bring that right ear towards that right shoulder, I want you to just find a little hold there. If you weren't reaching that opposite arm down, you can go ahead and reach it down. Or if you want it to come a little bit deeper, you can take that, or left arm down. Or you can take that left arm around behind the back and just kind of reaching it to open through the shoulder a little bit more, all the way down through the shoulder, and then right ear towards that right shoulder. So we're opening through the left side, finding that little bit of extra intensity there. If you did find that around behind the back, go ahead and take that arm back out nice and long. We'll come down through center one final time, and then left ear towards the left shoulder. Same thing, you can reach that right arm down towards the mat if you weren't before, or you can bring that right arm around behind the back for a little bit more intensity right there. Down through the right side of the neck. Next exhale, if you had it around behind the back, releases that hand, brings that chin back to the chest down at center, and then our inhale lifts that head back up nice and long. Just find our long spine once again. Now I'm just going to turn sideways so I have a little bit of space. You can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take my legs out nice and long. So first, we're just going to find a forward fold. So to intensify your stretch through the calves, through the lower leg, you can point those toes up towards the ceiling. If you don't need that, you can just leave them a little bit relaxed. And then we're just, as always, folding forward, walking those fingertips down towards the shins, the ankles, towards the toes, the bottom of the feet. Again, if you have that strap or that towel or something that you want to use to reach the bottoms of those feet and intensify this a little bit, you can grab that, wrap it around the bottom of the feet, and just find a little tension through the arms to find a deeper stretch through the backs of the legs, through the back, through the shoulders. That next inhale brings us back to that nice long spine. All right, so usually when we isolate a single leg, we pull that foot in and we keep the sole of the foot on the inner thigh. This time we're just gonna change up that range of motion a little bit. So I'm just gonna bend my knee and plant my foot. So I have my right knee pulled in, I bent the knee and planted the foot with just enough space that I can kind of fold down on that other side. If this becomes uncomfortable for you, you don't quite get the range that you want, feel free to just toss that knee to the side, same as we always do. And we're just gonna isolate that left leg, bringing those fingertips down towards the shin, the ankle, the toes. Same as before, that strap can assist you or that towel can assist you wrapped around the bottom of the foot. Just kind of changing that mode of the stretch a little bit from the normal. Fabulous. Next inhale brings us to that nice long spine. And then from here, we're going to use this positioning to roll down onto our back nice and slow. So I'm just going to grab my right knee that's pulled in. I'm going to use it as kind of a lever to come down towards the mat. I'm going to keep that right knee pulled in, and we're going to find a stretch on that side this time. So it's going to go right up towards the ceiling. Like I said, same thing. If you want that strap or that extra little bit of help there, you can grab it. You can just grab the shin, the ankle, the toes, wherever you need to be for that hamstring stretch. And this might be a little intense, so feel free, as usual, to have that knee bent, that little bit of lesson of tension if you're getting that super intense, maybe close to painful kind of range of motion here. Trying to use your exhales to release those muscles and allow them to relax into this stretch. And then from here, we're going to find a spinal twist. So I have my right leg up in the air. So I'm going to grab it with my left hand. You can always grab the outside of the leg with the left hand. I'm going to take my right arm out for a little bit of support, and I'm going to bring it across the body. If you have a little bit limited space, you can bend the knee here. If you prefer, you can keep the leg long. And then you can either plant that left elbow and use it as support if the leg doesn't reach the ground, or you can keep it on top and use it as that little bit of extra tension to bring the leg down to the ground. So that right hip's going to be up off the mat, but I want you to try and keep the right shoulder down in contact with the mat for this super intense spinal twist. Alrighty, fabulous. Bringing that back up to center, that nice long leg. And then we're just going to stretch in the opposite direction. So this may be a little less depending on where your hips are. I like to hook my two fingers inside of my big toe with my right arm, and then just allow it to kind of fall out as far as my leg allows. If that's not something that works for you, again, you can use that right hand for a little bit of support. You can just keep it right up at center, finding that hamstring stretch, or you can take it back into that spinal twist if that works better for you. So you've got a couple options for this second position, for that hip opener, that groin opener. Fabulous. Go ahead and bring that back to center, and then we're going to use this leg, bending the knee, to bring us back up to seated. We're just going to do that on the other side, and then we'll get into our flow for this evening. So right leg out long, left knee bent. Again, the foot can be planted, or if that didn't work for you, you can keep it out to the side for this first stretch. Just folding forward, fingertips towards those toes, finding that nice isolation of the right leg. Maybe you feel this stretch in the shoulders or the lower back. Maybe you feel this a little bit differently if the foot is planted rather than on the inside of the thigh. Just finding that nice stretch, finding that exhale to kind of try and release into it, releasing the muscles in the lower back, relaxing the head and neck. Fabulous. Next inhale brings us up to that long spine. And then we're going to use that left leg to roll us down onto our back. So pulling the knee in towards the chest, nice and easy, using that leverage to roll down. When you get there, taking that left leg up towards the ceiling. And once again, we're starting with our hamstring stretch. So right down the center, you can grab that calf, that ankle, the bottom of the foot. You can use that strap or that towel, that extra little bit of leverage. Excellent. Taking this into our spinal twist. So again, I'm going to take my right hand just to the outside of that leg. I'm going to take my left arm out long beside me. I'm going to let that leg come across. Once again, you can use it for leverage, or you can plant that elbow on the ground and use it for a little bit of support if you can't quite reach down to the ground. And again, we want to keep that left shoulder in contact with the mat. Maybe we look over towards those left fingertips. Nice. Next inhale pulls us through center. And then we've got those same couple of options. So if that opening towards the opposite side doesn't work, you can keep it at center or bring it across the body. If it does, you can bring it out to the side, find that nice stretch through the groin, through the inner hip. And again, you can use that arm as leverage or as that little bit of support on the ground. So I have my elbow planted and my left arm is kind of supporting my leg. Fabulous. Next inhale brings us one more time back to center, bending that knee and using it to bring us up to that comfortable seated position. Alrighty, you guys. So we're gonna kind of start to get moving here, get into our flow. So we'll make our transition to the start of that, which we're gonna start standing in our mountain pose. So I invite you to, as always, make the transition in a way that serves you best. Grab a sip of your beverage if you'd like on your way up. And we're gonna start at our mountain at the top of our mat. So making our way there so we have some space to step back. Ooh, alrighty. All right, so when you get there and taking your time, we'll find that mountain pose where, as always, those feet can be at hip distance apart. They can be a little wider, they can be a little narrower. After we'll go into a fold, but then we will move into our chair. So if there's a place that you like your feet to be for your chair pose, feel free to have them there as we get started. And we're gonna start with just 3 nice deep breaths leading with those arms. So when you found that mountain, let's go ahead, start with that big inhale to take those arms out and up towards the ceiling, finding that nice big stretch long way from center, and then our exhale circles them down and around. We're gonna do that twice more. Take it at your own pace here. If you're breathing a little faster or slower, that is totally fine. Our inhale takes us up, that nice long spine. Our exhale brings us down. We've got one more time, all the way up, all the way down, just like that. Our inhale takes us up. Our exhale takes us down. Excellent. On this next one, we're going to find some lateral stretches. Inhale takes us up. Exhale, that right arm is going to come down. That left arm is going to come up over top. Nice big side body stretch here. Keeping the torso nice and long. Fabulous. Inhale through center. Same thing, second side. Left arm comes down. Right arm comes up over top. Nice big right side body stretch. Next big inhale pulls us through center, and then we're going to take it from here into our forward fold. So fingertips come down towards the toes. As always, we'll take a moment here since this is our first one of the day, although the hamstrings have gotten a little bit of warm up. If you got any kind of vertigo there or anything like that, you can always keep the spine a little longer. If you need those knees to be a little bent and keep it a little bit gentle on you, feel free to keep that. Nice stretch again through the spine, through the backs of the legs. Finding that exhale to release into this a little bit more. Maybe you can relax the head and the neck. And from here, we'll take a couple more breaths. So if you'd like to move a little bit side to side, or maybe find that opposite elbow with that opposite hand, you find your ragdoll position, feel free to. Taking about 2 more nice deep breaths just in this easy forward fold. Or maybe not so easy, maybe a little bit intense, that's okay. Fabulous. With your next inhale, let's find our halfway lift. So our inhale finds that flat back, that long spine, that tense core, and then our exhale folds us forward once again. From here, we're going to take it into our chair. So if you need any adjustment of those feet, feel free to take it. And then our inhale sweeps our arms up, sinks our hips back, finds that nice long spine so the lower back isn't rounding out. There's that nice generous bend in the knees. If the arms need to be a little bit further out in front for the sake of the shoulders, feel free. A little bit of a hold here just to get us started and ready to go. Stay with me. One more big inhale. Exhale, folds us forward, fingertips towards the floor, hips up towards the ceiling. Fabulous. We're going to step it back into our crescent. So I want you to take that right foot, step it back nice and long, toes meet the mat, heel stays up. And then nice and slowly, keeping your spine super long, I want you to lift off the floor, keep the torso long, and then when you hit the top of that range of motion, then go ahead and bring those arms up into our nice crescent lunge. So we're going to take a little bit of time into each of our poses today. We're moving a little bit more slowly through them. It's a lot of work for the quads, finding our nice long, strong core, finding our long arms. Fabulous. From here, let's take it to our warrior two. Turn that right heel down, open those arms up, keep that bend in your left knee. We've still got a super long spine, super long from fingertip to fingertip through the arms. Fabulous. Let's take it to our peaceful. Keep that bend in that left knee, flip that left palm, lift it up and back. You can take your half bind with your right arm if you'd like to deepen that stretch, or you can just be reaching it down towards the floor. Excellent. Next inhale brings us back up to our warrior two. Alrighty, from here, we're going to transition to our side lunge. So I'm just going to turn my left toes to the side of my mat where my right toes are already facing. I still got that bend in my left knee. I'm kind of in this nice, easy side lunge position. If you need to take your feet a little wider or a little narrower, feel free to make any adjustments. And I'm just going to bring my hands down nice and easy to that bent knee. And then feel free to sink into this however deep you'd like to for that stretch to the inside of the thigh. So you can sink a little bit deeper. You can sink all the way down towards the mat and lift those right toes, finding that nice inner thigh stretch. If that doesn't feel good on the knee, feel free to keep it right there at that halfway up. Fabulous. One more inhale and exhale here. All right, if you came down a little lower, I want you to come partway back up. We're keeping that left knee bent for just a little longer. This is going to take us down to our gate pose. I'm going to fold forward with my fingertips about 6 inches off of my mat. I'm going to lift my left foot, that bent leg, and plant that knee down. So my left knee is planted. My right leg is still out nice and long. I'm prepared here for my gate pose. The first thing I'm going to do is go down onto that left hand and bring that right arm up over top for a huge side body stretch here. Trying to keep most of the weight off of your wrist, so using your core. Next inhale pulls us up through center, once again using your core, and then not putting too much pressure on the inside of your knee, but again, using your core. Try to slide that right arm down and that left arm up over top for that other side stretch. So I'm not putting a lot of weight into my hand, just using it for stability and balance. Next inhale brings us up through center. We're going to find our side plank next. So side plank, first option is going to be on that wrist. Second option, you might have to make a little bit of a move to bring the elbow down. So depending on how your wrists feel today, feel free to make that move. We've got a couple options here in our side plank. You can keep that knee down and keep it planted. Extend that opposite arm up. You can lift that bottom leg. This is going to be the most challenging version of this. Or you can extend it out so we're in our side plank. We're just going to find, once you reach it, one big inhale and exhale here. And then we're going to bring it over to our plank and then to our down dog. So bringing that right hand down, that left foot down, we've got that plank, and then we're pressing those hips up and back to our down dog. Nice. This is our first one of the day, so take a moment, pedal out those heels. Give yourself that little bit of a stretch. Fabulous. Let's take it out just briefly again to our plank. So shoulders come over wrists. And then we're going to bend the knees and press the hips back, kind of into a rocket position. So launching forward, we're going to then bring the feet to the hands into our forward fold. So it can still be a step. If you like to find that hop, you can find that hop. We're back in that fold, which is going to bring us back up to our mountain. When you reach your mountain, go ahead and take it all the way to the extended mountain, arms up overhead. And then exhale, circles them down and around. All right, nice. We're going to start from the top, and I'm just going to change direction so I'm facing you for that gate pose section. So our next inhale takes the arms out and up. Lateral stretch once in each direction. Right arm comes down, left arm comes up over top. Inhale pulls us through center. Exhale, second side. Inhale pulls us through center. Exhale, fold us forward, fingertips down towards the toes. That nice forward fold, that nice stretch once again. With that next inhale, let's find that halfway lift, flat back, long side. And fold it forward. All right, here comes that little chair hold. If you need that little rearrangement of the feet, feel free. And then with your next inhale, we're sweeping those arms up, sinking those hips back. We've got our chair pose hold. We've got a nice bend in the knees. Check out your lower back. Make sure it's not arching towards the floor, but it's nice and long. We're keeping our core engaged. The same thing, if those shoulders can't quite handle the biceps around the ears, they can point a little further forward. Nice. Give me one more big inhale. Exhale, folds us forward. Fabulous. Let's take it back to our crescent. So left leg is going to step back nice and long, toes meet, heels stay up. Once again, we're going to take this super slow and controlled. So keeping your long spine, I want you to lift off the floor, find your balance as you go up. Once you reach your long spine at the top, sweep those arms up. Fabulous. Keep that nice bend in that right knee. That left heel's off the mat. We're using the core, keeping it engaged to stay balanced. Let's take it to our warrior two. Left heel turns down, arms open up. Once again, we've still got that nice bend in the right knee. We're super long from fingertip to fingertip. Maybe we look over that right hand. Let's take this to our peaceful. Keeping that bend in the right knee, flip that front palm, that right arm, and lift it up. Once again, those fingertips can go down towards the mat, or you can find that half bind around behind the back, that extra little bit of intensity. Excellent. Next inhale takes us back up. Nice long spine. Keep that bend in that right knee. We're almost there. Nice. We're taking this to that side lunge. So all I'm going to do to accomplish that is bring those right toes around, bend into that right knee, and then transfer my hands down to my right knee. So once again, you can keep it up a little higher. You can bend into it a little more. You can bring those hands down to the mat, bend into that knee, and lift those left toes. When I do this, I have to lift my right heel for that little bit of extra comfort on my right knee. So just kind of take this as your body tells you it needs to. Excellent. One more big inhale and exhale. And then if you found this lower position, we're just going to come up halfway. Plant those hands a little bit out in front. Lift that right foot, plant the knee, and then come up to that nice long spine. Alrighty, from here, we're taking that right hand down. It's a little deeper towards that left arm comes up over top. Again, we're not putting a whole ton of pressure into that right hand. We're using the core, so we're not bothering the wrist here. We're keeping it up nice and long. Inhale pulls us through center. Same thing, second side. Once again, using the core, not putting all that pressure into the knee. Other arm comes up over top. Nice big stretch. Fabulous. Big inhale pulls us up to center. And then we've got that side plank. So making the transition that works for you, either down to the wrist or to the elbow. Again, you've got those couple of options. So that knee can stay down. We've still got that super long from knee to shoulder. That hip is up. That top arm can lift. The most challenging version of this, that bottom leg is going to lift. It's going to float. You're going to be using those inner thighs to keep them together. The in-between is going to have both of those legs nice and long. Nice. One more inhale. And then we're going to transition through that plank to our downward facing dog. So left hand coming down, both of those sets of toes meeting, finding that plank, and then pressing those hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Nice. Let's float out to our high push-up plank position. Take a little extra hold here. So finding shoulders over wrists, finding that nice, long, strong core, pulling those shoulder blades apart. So not sinking down in between, but keeping them separated, keeping those shoulders nice and safe. From here, let's press back to our rocket, bending the knees, pressing the hips back, finding that kind of loaded position. And then we're going to step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands. We're back in our forward fold. Fabulous. Let's take it up to our extended mountain. And exhale, circle those arms down and around. All right, awesome. Super brief break. If you need a little sip of your beverage or you need to shake anything out, feel free to. We're going to move through it hopefully once more on each side for during this first 40 minutes. And we are going to certainly move a lot faster in this extra one than we did in that first one. So taking a moment here to kind of shake it out, find a sip, lay back at the top of our mat. All right, so like I said, we're gonna move a little bit faster, especially through those ones that we kind of held in our crescent, in our warrior two, and in our chair. So move with me, but if you need to move a little bit slower or a little bit faster, please feel free to. We're gonna find our first big inhale to take those arms out and up. One lateral stretch in each direction finds our exhale, bringing one hand down, other arm up over top. Inhale pulls us through center. Exhale, second side. Inhale through center. Exhale, folds us forward, fingertips towards the toes. Let's take our halfway lift to our nice flat back, long spine, and then fold it forward. Here comes our chair pose. Like I said, a lot shorter than the last one. Sweep those arms up, sink those hips back. We're just gonna find one big inhale. Exhale, can you sink a little deeper into it? Give me another centimeter or two. Fabulous. Go ahead and fold it forward, fingertips towards the mat. Right leg is going to step back nice and long, toes down, heels up. And then we're sweeping up into that crescent lunge, finding your balance. Nice bend through that left knee. Let's take it down into our warrior two. Right heel turns down, arms open up. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back, peaceful. Bring it back out to center, warrior two. Here comes that side lunge. We're going to turn those left toes in. We're meeting that side lunge. Maybe those hands come down to the knee. Maybe we come nice and deep into it. Awesome. If you found a little deeper, go ahead and come halfway back up. We're going to plant those hands, bring that left knee down, and bring that torso nice and long. We've got our gate. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up. Nice big stretch through the side body. Inhale pulls us through center, same thing, other direction. Inhale pulls us back up to center, and then we're bringing it down to that side plank. So that hand can come down, that elbow can come down. You've got any of those three options. Finding your side plank. Give me one big inhale. Exhale, and then we're bringing it over to our regular plank. So planting those toes, bringing both of those hands to meet the mat, and then pressing it into our down dog. Nice. Out to that push-up plank once again. Bending those knees, pressing those hips back, kind of rock it. Ready to launch, and then pressing off toes forward to meet the hands, forward fold. Fabulous. Inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. We're gonna go right into that other side. Right arm comes down, left arm comes up. Inhale pulls us through center. Second side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips towards the toes. Halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Fold it forward. Chair pose, sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Find that nice bend in those knees, find that nice long spine. Fabulous. Go ahead and fold it forward, fingertips towards the toes, hips come up. Here comes that crescent. Left leg steps back nice and long, toes meet, heel stays up. We sweep those arms up, finding your balance, finding your core. Nice. Here comes our warrior two. Left heel turns down, arms open up. Peaceful. Flips that right palm up and lifts it up and back. Keep that nice bend in that right knee. Nice. Take it back out long to center. Here comes our side lunge, turning those right toes in, bending that right knee, finding that lunge, that nice stretch through that left inner leg. As always, you can take it down a little deeper if you'd like. If you found that deeper position, go ahead, bring it halfway back up. We're gonna plant those hands. We're gonna take that right knee down. We're gonna bring it up for our gate pose. Right hand's gonna come down first. Left arm's gonna come up over top. Nice big side body stretch through the left side. Inhale pulls us through center. Over in that second direction. Left arm comes down towards that left leg. Right arm comes up over top again. Not a lot of pressure through that left hand. Inhale pulls us back up to center. Here we go. Final side plank of this first 40 minutes. Hand can come down. Elbow can come down. Any of those three options with that bottom leg. Big inhale. Exhale pulls us down and over. We're in that regular plank position to our downward facing dog. Nice, back out to that plank one more time. Bend those knees, press those hips back. Nice big step or hop forward, feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Let's take a halfway lift, flat back on spine. Fold it forward. Inhale, rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. And our exhale circles the arms down and around. Alrighty. And same as before, just making your way back to that mountain pose. So feet can be right underneath the hips. They can be a little wider. They can be a little narrower, wherever you need them to be. And take this first moment or two and just think a little bit about your posture when you're in your mountain pose, about your alignment, about where your lower back is, about if your core is a little bit more tense or you can keep it more relaxed. Keeping your shoulders nice and low away from your ears, wherever your hands are comfortable being. So maybe the palms face forward, maybe they face in towards the body. Maybe you like to kind of strike a power pose for your mountain pose. That's totally fine. Maybe there's a little bit of a lift in the chin. Maybe you keep the head kind of closer to center. We'll take 3 breaths, just kind of being still in our mountain pose. So maybe you allow the eyes to close during those 3 breaths. As you inhale, allowing the chest and the belly to expand. And as you exhale, trying to find that little bit of release of the muscles, relaxation, especially of the shoulders, the jaw, the muscles in the face. 2 more, nice deep breaths. One more big inhale, allow those lungs to expand. And exhale for that big release. Awesome, now let's lead with those arms. Same thing, 3 nice deep breaths. You can bend the knees a little bit if you'd like, or you can just use the arms. That inhale takes us up. And the exhale relaxes and releases. 2 more just like that. And then 1 more. Fabulous. On this next one, we're going to find those lateral stretches. So give me that inhale to take us up towards this. Arms, exhale in that second direction. Inhale back through. Choppy, so I'm just going to pop my Wi-Fi off for a second. So I may freeze for a moment. Bear with me. I will be back momentarily. Okay, I'm back. All right. Okay, so we're going to move into our forward fold. If you were already there, go ahead and stay there. If you have the arms up in any fashion, whether you continued that lateral stretch, feel free to find just your forward fold back from center. If the arms came down when you were waiting for that to be over, give me that inhale to take the mountain up and our exhale to bring the fingertips down towards the toes. Spending just a moment in this forward fold, finding that nice stretch of the upper body, releasing the shoulders, maybe releasing the head and the neck. Once again, maybe you find that ragdoll opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe that allows a little bit more of a stretch of the lower back and of the shoulders. Maybe a little side to side. Excellent. Finding one more inhale and exhale. When you exhale, just bringing it back to that nice centered forward fold. We'll move it to our halfway lift. Our inhale finds our flat back, our long spine. And our exhale folds us forward. Here comes that chair. We're going to have that little bit of a longer hold on this time through. So sinking those hips back, finding that, sweeping those arms up, a nice long spine. So making sure that your lower back is grounding in and not sacrificing the lower back for the sake of the shoulders. Nice, that nice bend in those knees. With your next exhale, can you find an extra centimeter or two? Can you sink into it a little bit deeper? Big inhale. And exhale, folds us forward, fingertips down towards the toes, hips come up nice and high. Fabulous work. We're going to step it back into our crescent lunge. Right leg steps back nice and long, toes meet the mat, heel stays up. Take this one nice and slow to lift up, keeping the core nice and strong. Lifting off the mat, find your long, strong core, and then sweep those arms up. There's that nice bend in that left knee, that nice long torso. Fabulous. Let's take it to our warrior two. Right heel turns down, arms open up, left knee is still bent. Excellent. Let's take it to our peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Again, you can have those fingertips towards the mat or reach around behind the back. We've still got that nice bend in our left knee. Go ahead, bring it back to center. Nice. All right, a little longer, a little more work on that quad. Let's turn it into our side lunge. So left toes come into center. Rearrange those feet a little bit if you need to. And then when you're ready, hands come down towards that knee or towards the mat. Right toes can lift if you come down a little deeper. Left heel can lift if you come down a little deeper. If you just like that stretch to the inner thigh and this gets you to it, feel free to stay right here. Excellent, excellent work, you guys. We're going to make our transition to our gate. So if you're down low and you want to come halfway back up, feel free. Planting those hands, just kind of lifting that left foot off, planting the knee, and then coming to that nice long torso. All right, let's start with that left hand down towards the mat, that right arm up over top, nice big right side of the body stretch. Again, not putting too much pressure into that left hand, but using our core here. Inhale pulls us up through center. Right hand comes down towards that right leg. Left arm comes up over top. Nice big left side body stretch. Fabulous. Our inhale pulls us up through center. We're taking it down to that side plank. So whether you bring it down to that wrist or down to the elbow, making any adjustments there. And then when you're ready, pulling it into any of those three options for side plank. So knee can stay down, knee can come up, leg can go out long. We're going to find a little hold here. So find that position that works for you. Finding your breath, those hips stay nice and high. Nice work, you guys. One more big inhale. And then our exhale is going to bring us down to that plank. So whether you plant that knee and bring it around, however you need to get there, and then bring it to that plank position, which takes us to our downward facing dog. Press those hips up and back. Little stretch through the backs of the legs. Let's shift it back out into that plank. We've got a little hold here, shoulders over wrists. Lower back is not arching down towards the floor. Again, we're trying to keep those shoulder blades a little bit separated, so not sinking down into it, keeping them apart. Fabulous work, you guys. Go ahead and bend those knees, shift those hips back into that kind of rocket position. When you're ready, step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands. Forward fold. Nice. Our inhale takes us all the way up to our extended mountain. We're going to go right into that second side. Right arm comes down, left arm comes up to the top. Inhale pulls us through center. Second side. Left arm down, right arm up. Inhale back through center. Exhale to our forward fold, fingertips towards the toes. Let's find that halfway lift, our nice flat back, long spine. And fold it forward. Here comes our chair pose. Sweeping those arms up, sinking those hips back. Finding a little hold here once again. So making sure those feet are in the right place. Again, we're not sacrificing the lower back position for the shoulders. So if they need to be down in front instead of up by the ears, feel free to do that. I know that sometimes when my shoulders are a little tight, I tend to arch a little more for that, but we don't want to do that. We want to keep the lower back nice and long. Next exhale, can you get a little bit deeper? Nice, fabulous work. Looking good, looking good. One more big inhale. Exhale, fold this forward, fingertips towards the toes, hips come up. Excellent work. Well, let's take that left foot back nice and long towards that crescent. Toes meet, heel stays up. We're gonna lift nice and slow and controlled. Keep your spine super long. Lift off the mat, find your balance. Get to that long spine and sweep those arms up. We've got that generous bend in that right knee, giving that quad a little bit of work today. Nice long spine, fabulous. Let's turn that left heel down and open those arms up. We're in our warrior two. Nice. Go ahead and flip that front palm, lift it up and back, peaceful. Again, those left fingertips can reach towards the mat. They can come around behind the back. Nice. Let's bring it back out to center. Nice long arms, nice bent right knee. A little more work for that quad. We're almost there. Nice job. Let's take it to that side lunge. So turning those right toes in, rearrange those feet a little bit if you need to. And then when you're ready, hands can come down towards that right knee. You can bend into that hip. You can come to right here. You can come down a little lower, wherever you need to be to find the best stretch for you. Excellent. We're going to make our way towards that gate pose. So if you came down a little low and want to come halfway back up, feel free. Planting those hands, lifting and pressing those right toes back, finding that right knee, and bringing it to that nice long spine. Fabulous. Right hand is going to come down first. Left arm is going to come up over top. Nice big stretch through the left side of the body. Big inhale pulls us back through center. And let's take that left arm down, that right arm up. Once again, not putting too much pressure to that left leg. You don't want to press that left knee in and towards the ground too much. Fabulous. Use that core, bring it back up through center, bring it down to our side plank. That right hand can come down, that right elbow can come down. You've got any of those three options for that lower leg. Left arm can lift if you'd like. We've got a little hold here. Finding those hips nice and high, finding that breath, finding that nice, long, strong core. One of the better movements you can do for total body strengthening is that side plank. Nice. One more big inhale. Exhale brings us over to our plank. Both hands are planted, both toes are planted. And then let's take it to our downward facing dog. A little stretch. Find a little bit of work on the wrists here, you guys. Nice work. Let's float it out to our high push-up plank, shoulders over wrists, finding that nice, strong, stable position. Awesome. Almost there, you guys. Just a little longer. Give me one more big inhale. Exhale presses us up and back and then bends those knees. We're back in that rocket position. Go ahead and press it forward. Feet come forward to meet the hands. We're in our forward fold. Taking a moment in this forward fold, same as we did at the beginning, maybe to just release a little bit more than you might, maybe to find the opposite elbow with the opposite hands. Maybe you move a little bit side to side. Maybe with your breathing, you find a couple of halfway lifts for that flat back, that long spine. Excellent. We've got just a few more minutes here today, so I just want to finish off with a couple of kind of like deep stretches, but our usual stretches. So we're going to step it back into our low lunge. I want you to take that right foot back nice and long. That right knee is going to meet the mat. We're just going to find our little front to back flow. So our exhale presses our hips forward for that hip flexor stretch. Our inhale is going to press them backwards, lengthen that front leg, lift those front toes. Maybe you hinge forward, use the fingertips for support. Maybe the fingertips go out towards the toes. Nice and easy front to back for about 3 or 4 nice deep breaths, however fast or slow you want to go. Excellent. Taking about 1 or 2 more nice deep breaths, and then we'll meet back in that low lunge. All right. When you get there, you can choose any way to switch sides that you would like. If you'd like to press forward, if you'd like to press backward, if you'd like to leave that knee down and bring that left knee back around, any of those options is fabulous. So just switch sides, bringing that right leg forward, that left knee meets the mat, the top of the left foot meets the mat. Whether you move through forward fold, down dog, or hands and knees, same thing here. We've got that exhale to press the hips forward. We've got that inhale to press them back, lengthen that front leg. Excellent, excellent. About one more nice deep breath, so maybe once more in each direction, then we'll meet back in that low lunge. Nice. And then our final little bit of stretching, we're just gonna do our child's pose to Cobra. I'm just gonna kind of nice and easy ease out of this, bring my right knee down towards my left, and then I'm just gonna once again find my breath. I like to use my exhale to press back and my inhale to press forward, finding that nice front side body stretch. So just a few times in each direction here to finish this out, flowing with your breath. So as always, if you move a little faster or slower than me, that's totally fine. Nice. Let's take about 2 more nice deep breaths, so about twice more in each direction. After you finish that second time in each direction, I invite you to take any way to get back to that comfortable seated position. So maybe your comfortable seat is on those shins, so you just press back to there. Maybe you kick that hip to one side and circle those legs around wherever you need to be, just to finish off in that comfortable position. Alrighty. When you get there, we're just gonna finish off with a couple nice deep breaths. We'll start with our lateral stretches. So next big inhale takes the arms out and up. That left arm's gonna come down towards the mat. That right arm's gonna come up over top. You can always take that elbow down or just that palm down, wherever you need to be. Inhale pulls us through center. Same thing, second direction. Lots of lateral stretches today. Sometimes that feels good. Need it a little bit. Fabulous. Inhale pulls us through center. Exhale circles the arms down and around. You can either place the hands right behind the hips or interlace them behind the back. Inhale opens through the chest, pulls the shoulder blades together. And our exhale releases. Let's finish off with 2 nice deep breaths. Inhale takes the arms out and up. Exhale circles them down and around. And on this final one, those palms are going to meet overhead. Our inhale takes the arms out and up. Palms meet right up overhead. Exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me on this lovely Monday evening. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday night and a great rest of your week. See you guys next time. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste.